Welcome to Redvee TV's Instant Reaction, supported by Chapel House for the 2023 season. Following Saints' 24 points to 6 victory here this afternoon at the Menderhose Jungle. Kev, it was round 2 of the Super League, round 1 for Saints, and the important thing was coming away with the 2 points.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. We'll analyse the performance, but you've just got to get them wins on the board early, haven't you?
Yeah, listen, pundits talked before we went to Australia saying we would struggle when we come home, given the amount of the effort we've put into the journey over there. But listen, we were buoyed by coming back with the trophy. We've been able to rotate a little bit today, some through injury, some maybe just giving other players a go. But we've done enough to come away with the win.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing. It's the efforts and application. Read an article just before kick-off from Aaron Bauer saying that Paul Helens said that Wednesday's training was optional and everybody turned up. And they're the little details that make this club a champion club and a key part of our success over the past couple of years.
Cass seemed to get off to a bit of a flyer. Coming down that left-hand side, it looked like carbon copy of the carry try last season. But I think straight away what we found is the cover and defence from T. Ritson, because he's got that pace to come across, it puts doubt in the winger's mind, and that stopped us going 6-0 down early. And then we found ourselves into a bit of a grind. I have to say, Cass let us off the hook quite a few times with their handling and their decision making. But champion teams defend well, and essentially we conceded 6 points, but they were from a penalty try, which for me probably wasn't, given the Harrell and Lomax were coming across when Wellesby gave it away. So all in all, defensively, if you're only giving away 6 points in a game, you're going to more often than not find yourselves on the right side of the scoreline. Yeah,
and I think it's important to say, I think it's a mix of the two there. Castleford coughing up chance after chance. Jake Mamo apparently had made 180 metres off 5 carries but made 3 errors. And you think the one where he broke through the middle and he went left instead of going right where he had his overlapping runners, listen, that's because we're scrambling, so it makes him make a decision. It doesn't make it easy for him. So that's good on our behalf. But again, I think Cass had shot themselves in the foot. I think it's a little bit more composure from Cass, and we're looking at a game where we might be coming back from 12-0, 18-0, something like that. But you say that, it's that will to do the extras. It's that doubt that people put in. You say when Cass go over the line in the corner and he puts his arm into touch, which is unforgivable for me as a winger. Matty Lees is putting pressure on him. Matty Lees is the one who's getting back and making sure that if he is going to score, he's going to make the kick more difficult.
And at 24-6 down, or we're 24-6-0 up, you don't even have to be putting, well, you shouldn't. Most teams will not be putting that effort in, but we just don't want to concede points.
Yeah, and that's it. I think there's a hunger and a desire to keep them down to not crossing our try line. And it's not always possible that you shut teams out. But, as you say, they've scored a penalty try. I'd like to see it again. I think we've seen it once on the big screen.
It just seems to be given very quickly.
Listen, if he's convinced, though, that's what we want. We want refs making a decision. And he's gone up. I think I don't know if he put it up to the big screen.
Has the burden of proof been reduced? Because I remember, to be a penalty try, you have to absolutely be certain they were going to get the ball down. He's a metre short line with cover defenders coming across.
As I say, I'd like to see it again. If Mr. Moore is convinced that he's going to score, then listen, let him make his decisions on the pitch. I'm quite happy for him to do that, for him to back himself. And if he does get something wrong in the season, he'll go away and learn from it. I'm all right with him making a decision. As I say, I've seen it once. Seems like the arm comes up off the shoulder or the ball or whatever and takes him high. If Mr. Moore thinks it's a penalty try, it's not cost us on this occasion.
In attack, it was a mixed bag. Listen, we're doing the reaction here, but it's a very hard performance to judge. I didn't think we did anything wrong, and we didn't do anything overly spectacular, but we just continued to do slightly more than enough.
Yeah, it's almost like one of them that the old phrase is after the Lord Mayor's show. We've put that massive performance in. We've really pushed it. But then you've got to back that up, and it's tough to get to them highs again. Listen, going forward, I thought at times we were good, at times we were clunky. You've got the likes of Conrad who's running through and proper barrelling. You've got Johnny Lomax using all of his experience to get us around the pitch and make something happen. And it's vital that you've got them players. You can't just have all young kids in here. You've got to have your experienced heads, and they did that. I'll speak about a young kid though. John Bennison over on this left wing. He'll feel hard done to if he gets dropped at any point soon, because defensively he was superb. I thought his decision making when going in for a tackle, his positioning was absolutely tremendous. I thought he's had a really good game.
And he carried it as well.
Yeah.
Other standouts, you just mentioned him, Conrad Harrell.
Yeah.
Just the effort and the impact he puts in. He was great. And then Alex Walmsley, I think we said he'd had 4 shredded wheat at half time by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Honest God, you just couldn't stop him. It was unplayable in that second half when he's rampaging through.
Yeah, the second stint was markedly. He'd got himself up for that. And I'm not saying his first stint was bad, but it was just that other step up that we know Alex Walmsley can bring. And it's good to see that all around the team we're naming a couple of different players here. Like, I know Morgan Knowles went off, it seemed, after about 20-25 minutes. Jake Winfield comes on, and I was thinking, I've not seen Morgan come back. And then after 50 minutes or so, Morgan Knowles is back on the pitch. You rest him, you're not flogging him, you're allowing a player to get experience in a tough, tight game like that. It's almost like the perfect storm of things for us. It's been a tough test for us coming back to Super League, getting back to the day in, day out. And we've been able to play players who, as you say, might not necessarily get a chance every single week. So it's good to see.
I was going to say, obviously, we've made changes, but then even in-game, there's a lot of different combinations that maybe haven't played together. And it's a case of just, you do your job, and things will come off. T. Ritson, everybody was excited to see him. After Saints End had him on for first try scorer, he was unlucky. We think he stepped into touch. Yeah. And then he goes and scores the first one of the second half, which no one had.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's going to be someone who stays in the team generally.
Yeah, it's a promising start from him. That's it. They were getting a little bit of joy down, as you say, we're getting a bit of joy down that side. So it's a brand new combination.
I wouldn't say that was because of him.
No, but it's a brand new combination. So you've got James Bell over there, who doesn't usually play right second row. You've got Conrad and you've got T, and they've not played in that combination.
Was there an element of us maybe we were naturally playing defensively narrow though? And allowing them that space on the edge, knowing that because we've got pace in the team, you can get over and cover it. Because they got away a couple of times in the first half, but we seem to tighten it a little bit, and then those chances weren't as abundant. Might be saying a different thing if Cass could catch the ball, but it was promising from him, and he certainly knows where the try line is.
Yeah, definitely, and that's it. He's finished his try well. He just gives you that something, doesn't he? That speed is everything, because you can't teach that. You can't just make a slow player quick. So having that explosive speed, and listen, we're all willing him to go 50-60 metres here.
It's going to come.
Just get it through the hands to him. I think we're thinking back to Ben Barber a couple of years ago, who did just go. But yeah, it's a promising start for him, and he'll be made up to get his first Super League try.
A couple of others who getting a chance today. Sam Royal only got 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the game. How do you think Dan Norman went?
I thought it was a tough afternoon for him. That's it. He comes on, makes a mistake pretty early, and then he has a couple of smaller stints after a HIA. Tough afternoon for him, but I think he'll be better for a bit of match sharpness.
Yeah. Obviously, he's someone who looks like he needs to play regularly, whether that's for us or out on dual reg on loan, but he needs to be getting minutes in.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's it. We were saying in the previews that it's a big year for Dan, that he signed a new one-year deal, and we want to see how he goes Super League for a good team as well, us. He needs that opportunity to play minutes. Would he have got a chance if Iggy Parsi had been fit today? Probably not, but he'll be better for it. So if he has to play next week, he's got them minutes in the legs and the lungs probably, because there's a lot of difference between being fit and being match sharp.
Leeds fans can clip this Phil Gould style, but given what we've got coming up in the next few weeks, potentially that's our hardest game until Good Friday. Coming back from Australia, having to come to Cas, which is a tough little place to play on, full house, on the TV at lunchtime. You're there to be shot down, and we've come through it, and then you come, and now we've got Leeds this Friday coming up, which on paper, with players coming back in, and the way Leeds are performing, should be an easier game. Should we be able to declare by half time?
No. Listen, I think Leeds are going to want a performance. Yeah, they're going to want to put a performance in. We said it, that it's Teams Cup finals playing against us, and it's not raise the game against us. That's what will happen on Friday.
It's Leeds' opportunity to become lineal world champs.
Yes, it is. But
we'll just lose it to league.
We probably will do now. But yeah, it's... Listen, I think it'll still be a tough game, but you're right, just everything about this stadium seemingly being compact. 10,000 in, which is great for Cas. I'm made up that they've had over 10,000 in today.
Still one of my favourite grounds.
Yeah, well, it's very Knowsley Road-esque, isn't it? But it always seems small. It seems like the fans are right on top of you. You add all that up against a good Cas team, who admittedly haven't been at the best today. It makes it that this should be one of the harder games. When you're at home, you should be winning your home games.
Talking to Cas, Joe Westerman never played today. Is that a case of, with everything that's gone on over the last couple of weeks, and with this game being on national television, and with 2,000 Saints fans behind that sticks, was it maybe just a chance to just take him out of the spotlight a little bit?
Yeah, take the heat off, possibly. Yeah, something we kind of had a little chat about before the game. Yeah, potentially so. It's a light that rugby league doesn't need shining on it. So take it off and just let it be. Let the story be what's happened on the field.
Yeah. All in all, we needed to come and just get the 2 points.
Yeah.
Hook or crook, it didn't really matter today. We knew it was going to be tough. Listen, the jet lag is probably still in the legs a little bit. Yeah. And we've come and we've done a job. And that's essentially what we needed to do. We've done a job. We've scored some good tries. And do you know what? I'm sure Wello will say himself, there's plenty there for us to go away on the training pitch this week and work on.
Yeah, I'd be worried if we'd have come here and put on an absolute show and we'd hit our straps in week one. It's not necessarily what you do. You tend to kind of build and build and build throughout the season.
Is that what we've learned over the last 3 or 4 years in the run? We peak at the right times. There's the chain of week to week Super League where it's just about getting the 2 points on the board, doing bits well. But then when you come to the big games, your Good Fridays, your Challenge Cup semis, your finals, your playoffs, your grand final, that's when we go up and up the intensity 4 or 5 notches.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's something that we kind of hadn't kind of grasped probably early 2000, late 2000s, early 2010s, that we needed to peak at that one game at the end of the season and start throwing everything at it. You don't, listen, they're not going out there to play at 80%, but you also don't need a grand final winning performance to go into some games. You just need to do enough. Today, we've done a little bit more than enough because we kept Cas at bay when they've been creating chances. And you know what? Was it the prettiest game of rugby league to watch? No. But it was highly effective, and we're quite happily going to get on the M62 and take the 2 points back home.
Absolutely. Great showing from the Saints faithful coming over here today in the thousands. Royally entertained. The world champions keep the lineal world champions tag. I'm going to bang on about this until we lose it. Yeah. And then when we lose it, we won't actually mention who's won it. But all in all, job done.
Yes, correct.
Okay, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we will be back during the week for the Redvee TV show as we build towards the Leeds Rhinos and we round up all the Saints action from the week gone by. Catch you soon.